Namaste, Sitaram, Assalamu alaikum, and good morning to you, my dear friends. I am yours truly, Mahantji Dr. Balliram Chadee, our regular educational weekly segment, The Beauty of Knowing. As always, it is my pleasure to come and share some information with you. Many people who look at this program we know are not Hindus. We're not even Indians, of all religious persuasion. And I'm very proud to say many of the viewers of this program, this segment, who are non-Hindus have actually contributed and sent donation to keep bringing this segment to you. And to all of you who are looking, I pray and hope that your Lord and my Lord continue blessing you. Hanumanji may give you strength, wealth, and success in whatever you do. And we do appreciate the fact that we can help bring some educational segment to you. This morning's question or topic was, what is the purpose of a baby's name according to Hindu theology? Why do we get a Hindu name, a book name, a Rashi name, a Rashi name, and how do we come up with it when a baby is born? Many of us, my dear friends, pay emphasis to the fact that we have a baby name. That's what we call a Rashi or Rasi, or some people say a book name. It's a name that's based after one of the houses of zodiacs that we calculate when a baby is born. Why we have it? As Hindus, we believe that when we do especially rituals, we use a name that's significant to the time that we were born. And that's where we get Rashi being one of the zodiac houses that I talked about. Some people say Rasi, and then some people refer to it as book name. But the reason being, when we engage ourselves in spiritual undertakings, when we are born, we grow up later in life, we start doing pujas. When we are Christian, or we take Guru Diksha, when we get married, or even when we die, that name is the name that we use for all these rituals. That's why it's important that we have it. Many people say, as you would probably grow up hearing, your Rasi name is the name that's private. You don't tell people. Quite often we don't tell people that, and it's only used, as I said, for religious rituals. So we keep it to ourselves and our family members. Many of us have a calling name, and some of us, the Rasi name, the book name, is the name that we actually use. If that's the case, there's absolutely no problem. But how do we as Hindus, as spirituals, Pandits, Mahants, Sadhus, Swamis, how do we come up with those names for you? So a baby is born, the parent calls their guru, family priest, they call their preceptor and say, today we have this baby born at this time, we'd like a name. And again, I talk about Rasi name or book name. What happens at that point? There's something called a star, a nakshatra. Last week I talked a little bit about it. We have 27 nakshatras, 27 stars. Each of those stars are divided into 4 quarters, or what we call 4 pads or padas. So that's how we ended up with 108. So what happened? We take the time that the baby was born, that's given to us, the date and the time, the tithi, and we look at the star, the nakshatra, and we look at the beginning of the star, the end of the star. We take the duration, how long that star existed. We divide that into 4, and we get a value. The value is added from the beginning of the star, that's the first quarter. It's added to that total, that becomes the second quarter. Again, to that combined version, that becomes the third quarter, and the remainder added to get the fourth quarter. So you understand the duration from beginning to end. The time the baby was born, that time figures or factors into one of these quarters. Each one of these quarters correspond to a symbol or a sound. For example, chu, che, la, so, se, na, ma, and you hear a pandit giving you. Yeah, so if we walk through a simple example, a baby was born last night at 2:30 a.m. We look at the star started yesterday, it finished today, the star ran for 23 hours. We divide that, so we get roughly 5 point something hours per quarter. The first quarter, second quarter, the star would actually be in the third quarter because according to Hinduism, we start a day at sunrise. But according to when that star actually started, we calculate. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that star of the time, 2:30 in the morning, fell in the third quarter, it becomes the third pada or third pad. We look in a table, astrological chart, we find what is the corresponding sound under that star for the third quarter, and that sound is what is given to you as the beginning syllable of your name. And that is how a baby's name is found in Hinduism. So as I close this segment, today's topic was how do we come up with a Hindu name. I explained that it is based on the duration, the time of birth that falls within a star, and which quarter of the star it falls into, that is corresponding to a syllable or sound, and that is what we give you as spiritualists, and then you now make that into a name, and that is what you give your children as Hindu Rashi, Hindu Rasi, or Hindu names. So I hope today's segment you were able to understand that for yourself, at least basic understanding and comprehension how we come up with a name for Hindu baby. Until next week's segment, we do remind you there's only 1 week left. Next week we will be doing 108th Hanuman Chalisa. If you believe this segment, as I keep saying, is making a difference, please help us keep it on air in 2014. Just make a donation between your family or your family members to the address you see on the screen, or call me and I'll tell you what to do. Until we see again, God bless you. Jai Sitaram.